Hi and welcome to today's YouTube video where it's all going to be about circumstances don't matter. My name is Buket Chetinkaya, but most people simply call me Buko, which is my nickname, and I'm a manifestation expert and teacher with 2 decades of experience with the law of assumption/law of belief and 6 years of experience as a teacher teaching people how to manifest their desires quickly but also effortlessly. Because my goal is to teach people to manifest their desires in a light-hearted way without burning themselves out. So if this sounds interesting to you, don't forget to hit the follow button, and now let's start. So let's start defining what circumstances really are. And for this, I want to give you a few examples. Example number 1, let's talk about manifesting a specific job. So imagine there is this person called Lisa. Lisa wants to manifest a specific job in a specific company. She's a deliberate manifester, so she knows how to do manifestation techniques, and now she's applying for that job after doing her manifestation techniques, after switching into the state of the wish fulfilled. They've invited her over for a first interview, and she's elated about it because she knows this is the unfolding of her manifestation. During this first interview, though, she is very nervous. And because she is so nervous, she cannot fully reply to all the answers they're asking her. And if she's replying, she's making some mistakes and she's aware of that. And maybe they have even given her a feedback. Like, we see there is this thing that is actually very important for this job and you don't know much about this. So their feedback and also her own internal thoughts make her feel very insecure. She's leaving the interview, she's going home, and she feels very, very down. Why? Because Lisa thinks that this circumstance, this situation that happened there is destroying, attacking, diminishing, or blocking her manifestation. Okay, so circumstances are just occurrences in the 3D, in physical reality, that seem like they're harming your manifestation. I will give you another example for manifesting SPs, because there are also many circumstances that might show up. For this example, I want to just come up with a person called Michael. And by the way, if I say names in my videos, these are not real life clients of me. So let us say Michael is manifesting his SP back. It's an ex, they already had a relationship together, and he's missing this person and wants this person back. So Michael knows about manifestation, he's using manifestation techniques and hoping for the best. And now one day, Michael opens up his Instagram and he sees that his person has met someone else, another man. And it seems like they had a very romantic evening in a really nice and cozy restaurant. Now Michael is freaking out, he's losing it, and he thinks that his SB has someone else. Okay, so this is a very typical circumstance when it comes to SP manifestations. Now, as you can see, circumstances are simply occurrences in the 3D, in physical reality, that seem like they're in some shape or form harming the manifestation that we're focusing on. And because most people think that circumstances are harming their manifestations, they tend to react very emotionally. I have seen people in my coaching sessions showing up with literal panic attacks because they were thinking that the circumstance would just destroying their whole manifestation, or that they have just completely destroyed it in a sense of it's not repairable anymore. I'm here today to tell you circumstances indeed don't matter. They don't matter. And I will now explain to you why. Number 1, physical reality. The 3D is malleable. It's shiftable. It's changeable. It's never set in stone. It might look like it's set in stone because everything around us in the 3D feels so real, so tangible, right? But that's not the truth. based on quantum physics, everything that you experience around you in the 3D is just to 99.9999999% nothing. Let's look at this candle here next to me. This candle looks very solid, very real. I can touch it, I can smell it even, and it gives me light. But it's still to 99.99999% nothing. And it's the same here with this MacBook. It looks solid, you know, I can use it, I can open it, I can close it, and I can put it away. And it actually weighs something. It's not even that light. But hey, again, this is nothing to 99.99999%. Why are these things nothing, like almost non-existing, but we can still experience them, touch them, see them, smell them, hear them, etc.? That is because based on quantum physics, an atom is to 99.9999999% nothing, aka just pure energy, or also called information. And only a tiny part of it is something tangible. And that part is so small that that thing literally is like non-existing actually. We can just perceive the 3D because of our 5 senses. Because of my eyes, I can see this. Okay? Because of my nose, I can smell this candle. Because of my hands, I can feel the surface of this MacBook. I can touch it. So what I'm trying to say is, just with our senses, we can perceive the 3D. But in reality, based on quantum physics, the 3D is basically non-existing. It's just information, it's just energy. And energy is never constant. It's not rigid. It's not something that just stays the way it is. Energy is always in movement, and therefore everything you experience around you is always in movement, always changing, always shifting, always malleable. And because of that, circumstances in your 3D don't matter. Reason number 2 why circumstances don't matter. You have to understand that circumstances are just like an old story showing up in your 3D. Because when we manifest our 3D reality, there's not always, but usually a time delay. Okay? So you manifest something, and then a little bit of time passes until your manifestation shows up in your 3D reality. And because of that, what you experience right now in your 3D reality is an old story. It's something that you have imagined or thought about or believed in a few days ago, a few weeks ago, a few months, or even years ago. And because of that, we say that circumstances don't matter because it's just an old story. The 3D is just a hologram, and you're experiencing a movie right now that you have actually directed weeks or months or years ago. And yes, of course, there are also instant manifestations, but these don't show up all the time, you know? Like instant manifestations happen, yes, but usually there's a little time delay in your 3D. Reason number 3 why circumstances don't matter. Sometimes these circumstances look like your worst enemy, but they're actually just part of the orchestration of your manifestation. Yes. By the way, we call the orchestration also bridge of incidence. It's a term that Neville Goddard coined. The bridge of incidence is basically you walking from point A to point B to receive your manifestation. So point A is where you receive the desire for the very first time. You have like an aha moment. You have this moment of, oh, there's this thing that I want. Oh, I have a desire showing up. That's point A. And point B is you receiving the manifestation in your 3D, harvesting your manifestation basically. And everything in between is the bridge of incidence. So during your manifestation process, you are walking on this bridge of incidence towards your goal. And sometimes the bridge of incidence might be a bit bumpy. Sometimes things can show up that don't feel so comfy. And some of these things that show up, some of these occurrences might look like circumstances, but they are actually not circumstances, but only part of your unfolding, only part of the orchestration, only part of the bridge of incidence. And because of that, I always recommend when circumstances show up to just simply assume that this circumstance is just part of the orchestration. It needed to happen for you to receive this manifestation. And with that being said, I'm moving on to the next question. What can we do when circumstances show up instead of losing our minds? Number one, assume that the circumstance is just here to bring you to your manifestation and your manifestation to you. Assume that the circumstance is just part of the unfolding. It is just part of the bridge of incident. Another thing that you can do is to use some affirmations that are going to signalize to your subconscious mind that this circumstance here is not really a circumstance. It is something that is actually helping you receive your manifestation faster. You can say an affirmation like, everything happens to my advantage. Or you can say, everything that happens leads me to my manifestation and my manifestation to me. These are affirmations that you can use to use that circumstance to your own advantage. Because the moment you shift your story about the circumstance, it gets powerless. It doesn't hold any power over you anymore. The circumstance only has power over you if you believe so. In the end, it always comes back to your belief. So whether this is a real circumstance or it is just a part of a bridge of incidents, it doesn't matter. Just assume always, in all cases, that this happened to your advantage. This happened to bring your manifestation to you even faster. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. And if today's video was actually helpful and brought you some kind of value, please let me know in the comment section. Drop me a like and don't forget to follow for the next video. Bye-bye.